One of the worst situations for a game title is when there is no new videos and no news from the developer coming out about it, like everything has fallen apart. It is difficult to say then if the project still exists or if it has been scrapped. These days there are lots of such productions. They were quite interesting, potentially big hits, but sadly lost in action. Among these games, while some may yet come back and actually make their market debut, others will regrettably be tossed in the trash. In this video, we are going to introduce 6 forgotten games that were indeed looked like interesting titles when they were announced. Before getting down to the list, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like the video. Number 6, The Last Night. You don't often see an indie game make such a showing at E3. This was the case with the pixel art, cyberpunk production The Last Night from new studio Odd Tales. The dark atmosphere was just pouring out of the trailer unveiled at Microsoft's conference. We should remember, however, that this was in 2017. More precisely, almost 6 long years have passed from that time, during which Tim Soret, the game's lead designer, did not provide us with any new material. The developers have reportedly undergone a series of problems in the meantime, not least legal issues related to their project. Just last year, Odd Tales Studio claimed that we would find out more about The Last Night in 2022. But we are now in 2023 and we are still in the dark about the game. Is it going to stay in the list of most interesting forgotten games? We will have to wait and see. Number 5, Deep Down. Back in 2013, Deep Down made a big impression at the presentation announcing the PlayStation 4. The Capcom behind the project was expected to develop an action-packed production, likely similar to the Souls-like genre. Later on, however, the game became quiet. The Japanese publisher stopped reporting anything. What's interesting is that last year Jason Schreier had an interview with Sean Layden, former head of the PlayStation brand. The man himself admitted that he had no idea what happened with Deep Down. Perhaps someday this mystery will be solved. One thing is for sure, and that is the fact that Deep Down will stay in the list of forgotten games forever. Number 4, Everwild.
Our world has a rhythm. We all sense it.
This is one of the few games in the list that we know something about. By something, in this case, we mean any information about why we've been awaiting specifics since the announcement, which happened at the end of 2019. Back then, Rare showed a beautiful trailer presenting a fabulous game. About what? It was hard to say even then. An open world for single player, for co-opus, or maybe a Sea of Thieves style game as a service. This is something even the developers themselves were probably not aware of. Everwild has gone through development hell and concept changes. Everything seems to have been ironed out, and the game, under the leadership of a new lead designer, will pick up momentum, hopefully get out of the list of forgotten games.
And in moments of stillness,
Nevertheless, Gary Napper has been working at Rare only since the end of last year, so many indications are that we'll have to wait a little longer for specifics.
it teaches us to look beyond the expected.
Number 3, Unknown 9, Awakening. This is a typical project that you can describe in one sentence: a great teaser trailer, followed by several years of silence. Unknown 9 was announced in 2020 and immediately captivated with a beautiful trailer dripping with mystery and oriental atmosphere. Many gamers then expected specifics on what exactly the game is going to be. But unfortunately, the developer and publisher fell flat. 2 years waiting may not be much, but the total lack of new information is worrisome. This is not to suggest that Unknown 9 has been cancelled. These situations sometimes happen. All the same, there is no denying that the project has been lost. Hopefully it will be revived as soon as possible and won't be on the list of forgotten games. Number 2, Pragmata. It was another project from Capcom and was once again showcased for the first time at the Sony conference. However, this time it was 2020 and the game itself is supposed to be multi-platform. However, that's the end of the differences from Deep Down. Pragmata soon impressed with its original ideas and powerful atmosphere straight out of a Hideo Kojima production. Not surprisingly, many gamers have been waiting for gameplay from Capcom's big new brand. After all, such things don't happen often. But unfortunately, almost 3 years have passed, and the game is avoiding all trade shows and conferences by a wide margin. So what happened to this hit in our list of forgotten games? Similar to Unknown 9, Awakening, it's hard to sound the alarm. These situations happen, although they are not welcomed by gamers. So Capcom, maybe it's time to show something more. Number 1, Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Cook, do you hear me?
Roger, Uma.
Half the crew is dead drunk in my sick bay.
A whopping 6 years have passed since the announcement of the sequel to the iconic Beyond Good and Evil. Why has it taken so long? The announcement of the game in the very early stages of development explains little. Presumably the project has been going through development hell, making a happy ending still a long way off. However, perhaps the reason for the delays is the huge scale of the project and the high ambitions of the developers. This we do not know. Naturally, many people have put a cross on Beyond Good and Evil 2 along the way, although according to the latest leaks Ubisoft is still working on the game and is even conducting closed tests. So perhaps this particular title will finally go on sale at some point and we won't get to add it to lists of forgotten games.
The key ingredient to good cooking is love.
What do you think about these 6 games? In your opinion, are there any chances that any of these games would make their market debut one day? Let us know in the comments section below. Moreover, we have included 4 more such games in our article on Gazetely's website. You can find the link in the description.
Nox, come in. What have we got on the scanners?
Jack shit.